more events are coming to Pokemon Sleep. And I'm pretty excited for this one. A new area is getting added to the game. And there will be a new type of event called Sleep Style Discovery Week, during which there will be a higher chance for you to encounter sleep styles that you haven't encountered before. Welcome back to another Pokemon Sleep video, it's Bro Vinny here. Now today we'll be covering both of the news, but we've only got a little bit of information on the new area Old Gold Power Plant. So for the most part of this video, we'll actually be looking at the Sleep Style Discovery Week. We'll be covering which area you should go to, and I'll give you a step-by-step guide on how you can decide which area to go to, because it might be different for everyone. But one recommendation that won't change is that for the Sleep Style Discovery Week, you should try to have a high drowsy power, again, just like many other events, right from the start of the week. We'll come back to this in a moment. Let's talk about the power plant first. So the new area is called the Old Gold Power Plant, which I may abbreviate as either OGPP or Power Plant, or just simply PP. This area will get added in the middle of a week. So it gets added on the 2nd of October, which is actually a Wednesday at 3 p.m. and it seems to be your local time. So this time doesn't seem to change for different time zones. So people who enter Wednesday earlier will be able to access this area earlier. Unfortunately, that means that if you want to access this area as early as possible, you will need to run an easy travel ticket. But when you use an easy travel ticket, your Snorlax strength will hit 0 again and you gotta build that power back up. So that might mean you'll have to sacrifice resources earning Dream Shards and candies for the rest of that week if you were to start this area early. Whether to do it or not is totally up to you. Some people like to have a low drowsy power anyway because they can hunt specific Pokemon and build up their friendship levels. But of course it also depends on if there's any new Pokemon that's coming along with this new area. I for one am hoping to see this area come with Muck and Grimer. Why Muck and Grimer? Well, it's a power plant. So the original power plant in Pokemon Red, Blue, Green, Yellow had Grimer and Muck. And I feel like we need better poison type Pokemon in this game. We already have Magnemite and Magneton. We don't have Voltorb and Electrode, but we have quite a few electric types already. So I think Grimer and Muck could be an addition to Power Plant. In fact, if I were to take a guess what berry typing Power Plant will have, I think it's going to be Electric, Steel, and Poison. Of course, Steel type wasn't available back in the first generation of Pokemon, but if it were, Magnemite's line will have Steel type. And in Pokemon Sleep, Magnemite is actually considered just a Steel type Pokemon. I've seen other people suggest that Ghost type may be available at a power plant, but one thing that we probably all agree on is Electric and Steel. If it doesn't have Electric and Steel, it'd be pretty surprising. Having said that, a lot of us are not prepared for Steel type berry, considering that Steelix is just so difficult to catch. So we might have to spend a lot of time over at Taupe Hollow to find that Onyx in preparation. But of course, Onyx suffers another problem. It is the best rock type berry specialist. So if you evolve it, it will no longer be a rock type. So that means you will need other Pokemon to cover for Taupe Hollow if you get a really good Onyx. Now, in order to unlock this area though, you will need to have completed 340 sleep styles. So you can check how many sleep styles you've completed in your profile page. And if you're not up to 340, then you might want to maximize your time over at the Sleep Style Discovery Week, which is happening the week prior to Power Plant's release, which is what we're covering next. We will come back to talk about this once we get more information. But one thing I'll be very happy to see is Zapdos over at Power Plant, hopefully in one of the future legendary events. Next, we're going to talk about the Sleep Style Discovery Week. Now, you can go to any area of your choice for this week. The main goal is to collect as many missing sleep styles as you can. For new players, this will be very useful for you to complete your Sleep Styles Dex goal so that you can unlock more areas. Now, during this event, Pokemon will be able to spawn outside of their sleep types. And for the entire week, your dishes will be 25% stronger than normal. And of course, the missing sleep styles are more likely to appear during sleep research. But how do we decide which area to go to in order to maximize our rewards for this week? So here is my step-by-step guide on how to decide. But first, just a reminder, try to maximize your drowsy power as much as possible from the start of the week. Because the lower star sleep styles are normally easier to get, so we're aiming for the higher star sleep styles. We're aiming for the 3-star and the 4-star sleep styles. You don't want to waste this week only doing 1-star and 2-star sleep styles. During this sleep style week, you could get quite a few more 3-star sleep style Pokemon than you would normally get. Unfortunately, you can't get multiple 4-star sleep style Pokemon because that's just the rule of the game. You can only get one at a time. But I'm not aware of any limits for 3-star sleep styles. So if you have a lot of missing 3-star sleep styles, and you've achieved the minimum requirements for the drowsy power and the rank to get them, you will have better odds of encountering all of those in the same session. Now, how to maximize your drowsy power from day one of the event. Now, this is a completely separate video, which I've done before. We've talked about how to carry strength from one week to another, things like expand pot, carrying tails or other ingredients in preparation for this week, using Tasty Chance S early on in the new week. Of course, Tasty Chance S cannot carry over from one week to another, but you can start using it early in the week, or you can sleep with your Dedenne at the end of Sunday and don't trigger the skill until Monday morning when you've crossed over to the new area, and therefore actually carrying strength, carrying that Tasty Chance S from one week to another. You can use all of these strategies which we've covered before to start the new week stronger. It would be a huge waste for your first 1 or 2 days to have not enough drowsy power to encounter 3 or 4-star sleep styles. So make sure you maximize that. Especially given that dishes are 25% stronger, it makes sense to carry over your ingredients and your expand pot from one week to the event week. Other strategies like overstacking, etc. will also work. Now, to decide which area you might want to go to in order to complete your sleep styles quicker, I would recommend that you go to the map section of your game. So I'm going to show you guys now and have a look at your completion. So you can see that my sleep style completion for Greengrass Isle is 92%. For Cyan Beach, it's 92%, Taupe Hollow 94%, Snowdrop Tundra 95%, and Lapis Lakeside is 96%. So where I would start looking is with the lower percentages. For people who are more casual players, this is a good place to stop. Just pick an area that you have low completion. But if you're looking at maximizing the outcome of these weeks, you're going to have to look a bit deeper into these numbers. For example, let's go to Cyan Beach, one of my lower completion areas, and click on Area Dex. Now the Area Dex will actually separate your completion into the 3 sleep types. We've got dozing, which is at 57 out of 60, snoozing, which is 71 out of 76, and then I've got slumbering, which is 75 out of 83. So you look at how much you've completed of each sleep type. Now, because I've been slumbering a lot in the last few weeks, I have a suspicion that I may still not have recovered on my sleep types, so I may not be able to get a lot of slumbering types for this discovery week. Now, furthermore, like I said, we want to be focusing on 3 and 4-star sleep styles where possible. So not only do we want to look at how much completion, we also want to look at which Pokemon and what sleep style we're actually missing. So for example, Vaporeon here, it says I'm missing one of the sleep styles. I'm not sure which one, which I'll have a look in a moment. And I've got Croconaw, Feraligatr that I'm missing one of each. Another way to actually remember which sleep styles you've completed is to use either the Rainonix calculator under Sleep Dex Sleep Record. You can actually just click on the styles that you've completed. Maybe I haven't completed 3-star Butterfree. So this is one way for you to just record what you have and what you're missing so you can cross-reference. Or you can use one of these spreadsheets. So this one's made by Banana Tanks, and you can go through and read this yourself and check off every sleep style that you've got. You'll have to make a copy of this spreadsheet, but I'll leave a link in the comment section below for those of you who want a copy of this. Once again, it's the same thing, just for you to cross-reference to see what you're missing and what you should be hunting for this next event. Now, just for example, I'll be taking Vaporeon, so I've got 3 out of 4 sleep styles completed. So let's have a look at my sleep style decks to see which sleep type is actually missing, and we will start filling out the form. Now, of course, you can actually just do it directly from these sleep style decks, so you can just go from, so for example, you can just go straight to Bulbasaur, and then of course I've completed all 4 sleep styles and just check all of these off. Anything that's 4 out of 4, I can already completely check all of them off, and you can do this yourself. But we're gonna skip over to Vaporeon and see which sleep style I'm actually missing. So this is my Vaporeon. I am missing 4-star sleep style, so I want to check these off. Now remember that I'm missing 4-star sleep style. And then you can keep going and check every single Pokemon. Over at Slumbering at Cyan Beach, I am also missing 4-star Croconaw and missing 4-star Feraligatr. Now, because all of these are 4 stars that I'm missing, they're actually all competing for the same slot. So it is highly recommended that you do naps as long as you've got enough drowsy power to encounter these 4 stars, so that you have more chances of having one that's a top belly, since you can only have one a top belly at a time. On the other hand, if I'm missing 3-star sleep style, there are going to be more chances for a 3-star to show up than a 4-star, only because there's no limitation like 4-star has. So while I have low completion at Cyan Beach, if they're all 4-star sleep style, it actually might make less sense to be at Cyan Beach. Of course, you guys need to do your own analysis to see which area you should be going to, and basically go through every single area after that and try to focus on an area that has more missing 3-star sleep styles. But if it's 4-star, it's still better than missing 1 or 2 stars. Now, the final step in this analysis is to figure out whether you actually even meet the requirements for those sleep styles. For example, 4-star Vaporeon that I'm missing, can I even encounter it? So you can go to the Rainanex calculator, go look up Vaporeon, and over at Cyan Beach, to get 4-star, I will need Master 7 and 73 million drowsy power requirement. So if I don't have that amount of drowsy power or that rank in that session, well, I'm not going to encounter 4-star Vaporeon anyway. So I suggest that you all make a note, maybe on the end here, just type in just type in you need Master 7 and 73 million drowsy power or something like that, just to remind yourself of whether you're even going to get this sleep style. Alternatively, you can click the little missing dex button at the bottom here, and any sleep styles that you're missing automatically gets fed into this part of the sheet, where you can find out the drowsy power requirements of the Pokemon and also the rank of the Pokemon that you're missing. And as you're completing this form, you have a good idea of which area you might want to go to. So this strategy is to maximize the number of new sleep styles that you get. But one thing that you might want to consider is that you could utilize this mechanic to actually hunt a specific Pokemon. So for example, if you're actually missing a 1-star sleep style Dratini, well, during this week, you'll actually have boosted odds of finding Dratini the first time you see it. But the first time you see that 1-star Dratini, then it becomes less likely to appear, and all the other Pokemon that you haven't encountered the sleep style for will be relatively crowding out that Dratini. So you can also consider whether you can use this strategy to hunt a Pokemon that you're missing. It works better if you're actually missing multiple sleep styles of that Pokemon. So for new players, it might actually make a lot of sense if you haven't seen a lot of Dratini in the past. For longer term players who have seen all of the sleep styles for Dratini, you actually have a reduced chance of encountering Dratini during this week. And the final note is that a lot of 3-star sleep styles, like Vaporeon for example, do not show up at Greengrass Isle. given that 4-star, you can only get 1 per session, it could make very little sense for you to be going to Greengrass Isle. I know in recent times they've actually added more 3-star sleep styles, but there are still numerous Pokemon that don't show up with their 3-star sleep style, which is one of the sleep styles that we actually want during this event. So I think Greengrass is a no-go for this event unless there are multiple 3 stars that you actually need from Greengrass. Let me know in the comment section below which area you guys are going to. Unfortunately, this might be the last time I'll be doing a community poll in my YouTube posts because YouTube only allows 5 options for a poll. So because of the new area released, there will now be 6 areas available to choose. I can no longer use YouTube's native polling system to see which area people are going to. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.